Good morning and welcome back to Coaching in PJs. My name is Pamela S. Thibodeau. I'm your coach. Got my coffee, my brand new PJs, and this morning we are going to talk about self-love. Now, in a previous video, we discussed self-care, and a lot of people feel, well, I take good care of myself, so that means I love myself. But that's not necessarily true. A lot of folks do everything they can to take care of their health. They eat right, they exercise, they may do some yoga or some mindfulness work. They limit their alcohol intake or whatever. They don't do drugs or whatever. But they take care of themselves. They take care of their physical body. But that doesn't necessarily mean they love themselves. They look in the mirror and they still have these awful thoughts. You're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, I'm dumb, I always make the same mistakes, I can't do nothing right. They have this internal dialogue that is very less than loving about themselves. So we've all been there, and I'm not saying I never have those thoughts because there are still days that I struggle with self-love, as a lot of people do. There was a time in my life that I had zero self-esteem and zero self-love. And I developed a motto, if what you see is what you get. If you like it, good. If you don't, you're lost. Okay. And that was a form of self-preservation. That was not out of self-love. That was out of self-preservation. But that was the beginning, is by realizing, hey, I don't need your negativity in my life about me because I have enough of my own that I struggle with, to overcome or to change to be a more loving person towards myself. You know, Jesus said that love your neighbor as yourself. But how can you love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself? Think about your relationships with your neighbors. And neighbor means everybody, your friends, your whether it's a physical neighbor or just a neighbor in word, okay, or in description. So, how can we develop a healthy sense of self-love? Now, let's not go overboard here and talk about conceit. Oh, I'm the best. I'm, the greatest thing since white rice, or I'm the greatest thing since gravy, whatever, there's a difference, it's a subtle difference, but no, actually, it's not a subtle difference. It's a big difference because you can tell when someone's full of themselves or someone loves themselves. Okay, someone who is full of themselves, a lot of times, that's not self-love either. That is a facade that they're putting on to build themselves up. And that's not always a bad thing, but there's a line, with everything in life, there's a very thin line. And you want to be loving and gentle and kind and love yourself. And then as that develops within you, you can express that outward to other people. And the more self-love you develop, the more self-forgiveness you develop, the more self-compassion you develop, you will show that to the world, and the world will reflect that back to you. So let's look at a couple ways that we can develop self-love. The fastest way, or the first way, the quickest way, the easiest way, however you want to look at it, is to simply put your hand over your heart, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just say, I love you, and feel it in every fiber of your being. If it doesn't feel right, that is just resistance in the body from so many years of self-loathing. Okay. So just stay with it. I love you. I love you. You don't have to start naming things about yourself that you love. You don't even have to start naming things about yourself that you like. All of that can come later. Now, if that is too just icky for you, you just feel so much resistance in your body. Okay, start with I like you. I like myself. I like me. Start liking you. I have compassion for myself. Okay. You can do that. That's a simple way to start developing and cultivating self-love. Now, Louise Hay came up with a system she called mirror work, where you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I love you. Hey, you're gorgeous, or you're handsome, or hello, gorgeous. Hello, handsome. Hi, love. Just hi, love. Hi, love. I love you. I love you. So start somewhere. Joyce Myers, who's a favorite minister of mine for a long time, she used to say about forgiveness that you only have to be willing. So let's think about that. If you cannot forgive someone for something that happened, you only have to be willing, and then God will do the rest. So let's think about that with self-love. You only have to be willing to love yourself. So if all of this that we've talked about so far just feels too icky and you can't do it, then think about this. Are you willing to develop a healthy self-love? Are you willing to change some of that dialogue that's going on in your mind about yourself? So start that. Start with, I'm willing to love you. Look in the mirror if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Just put your hand over your heart, because your heart, remember, your body is a living organism. Every cell in your body hears what you tell it. And we talked about that in a previous video also. But start with, just put your hand over your heart. Just think about how that feels. Just put your hand over your heart and breathe into it and think about how it feels. It feels good. It feels calming, you know, and then just say, I love you. I'm willing to love you. I'm willing to love you. Help me love you the way I should. This can be a prayer. You can pray, ask God or Jesus, angels, your higher self, whatever it is, that language that you use. I like to talk to God. I talk to Jesus and the angels all the time. But it's like, help me to love me. Help me to love me so that I can love you more. Help me to see myself as you see me. Help me to love myself the way you love me. So this will stop crossing that line. That will stop you from crossing that line into conceit and, boastful and being all up in yourself. But this would be a healthy self-love. I know this is a short video, but it's something I really feel passionate about, and I really think you'll benefit in so many ways in your life if you just take a few minutes every day, 2 or 3 times a day, especially if you're in a stressful situation. It's just, I love you, I trust you. We're going to get through this, whatever it may be, but develop a healthy self-love. And then as you continue to grow in love and compassion and all of that, you will see things in your life start to change. You'll feel better about yourself. You will feel better about your circumstances. You will be able to look in the mirror and say, hey, you're not so bad. I really do love you. But start with it simple. Have fun with it. Play with it. What feels good, start there and build on that. And like I said, if you don't have anything that feels good right now, just put your hand over you don't have to say it aloud. Breathe into love. Breathe in love. Just breathe in love. Just breathe in love. And love grows. Love will grow and it'll expand outward. I hope this video is beneficial to you. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, like, and subscribe to the videos and share them with people who you know would enjoy them and benefit from them. If you'd like to support this channel, there's a link in the show notes. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, my email is in the show notes as well. And as usual, there will be a written expanded version of this conversation on the Coaching and PJ's blog. I hope you have a great day. And until next time, be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And I hope that your kindness returns to you 100-fold.